Everyone, I'm back, and let me catch you up on what I've done today. All right, so I'm working on the C2 Grand Sport again. I tried to do a little organizing in the car condo. Kind of hard to do with all the stuff here, but I was looking for specific things. I was looking for the headlight assemblies, and I did not find them, but I did find some other things here and there. What I did on the car was, I should have videoed it earlier, but I was more concentrated on getting work done. I had that orange template, splash template, upside down in between that stack here and this table. And then if you look way over there, you can see the new rear section. That new gray rear section is going to replace the blue one that's underneath the orange piece. So what I did is it goes down, I don't know, 1.5 inches, 2 inches on each side. Let me see if I can, I think I actually left a path here, which is kind of amazing. Yeah. So if you look, it goes down about 1 inch, 1.5 inches, 2 inches on each side. I needed to know where that spot is on the actual car because I need to cut off the blue part at the right spot. Let me see if I can pull this up and you can see. Kind of hard to see, but if you look, there is a band right here that they sanded off, whoever worked on it previously, and that's where this top piece was bonded to the car. Same thing I'm going to do here. The reason they did that is because their pseudo Grand Sport has these vents on it. It has those rear vents back there. It has that oil cooler, fake oil cooler. What else? Anyway, that's the majority of it. So they had to bond these parts onto an actual 64 Corvette. They did not have all of those Grand Sport features. Well, what I need to do is cut off this top section right here because it's incorrect. These vents are in the wrong spot. This is where they are on the blue one. That's what I made this from, was from the blue one. On the real accurate rear section, the vents are actually this much farther forward. So I had to cut this template out so that this template would fit on top of that piece. What pleasantly surprised me is everything fit as far as the edges and everything. So that means that they're both the same size. It's just these features that are wrong on the blue one as compared to the gray one. So what I did was I put the gray one on the inside and I screwed it to the template here around the window. Oh, there was a spot right here that was off where this window is, so I had to clearance that so it would fit on there. But once I did that, the two parts fit together. I screwed it here so that the two pieces fit together. Then what I did was from the inside, I went to the edge of where the gray piece stopped and took my multi-tool vibrating cutter. You can see it there with the thing flipped backwards. And periodically put slots all along here. So now what I can do is once I get this settled back on here, I can go along and take my cutter and cut each of these spots right here. And that will let me know where I should cut the blue piece so that the gray piece will fit right on and butt up against it. Now my question is, do I really want it to butt up exactly against it, or do I want a little bit of a gap? How do I want to handle that? Right now I'm leaning towards having it butt up against it. But if you look, I should have done this before. I can take a marker and connect these slots, and that'll give me a line. And then it comes around here. I made sure I got these corners, and then it comes across the back, and then down this other side. So what I'll do is make all of those cuts, pull the template off so that I can reuse it if I ever need to, although I doubt I will. And then connect all the dots, make the connection in between with the vibrating cutter, and that will remove this blue section. Now, underneath there are bonding strips. Let's see if we can see them. Not really. Maybe a little bit here you can see one of them. And what this is where the body is bonded together. So there's I guess a bulkhead across there. And if you look under there, I'm not sure if you can see, there is, they used panel bond to attach this. So I've got to cut off that panel bond. The other thing is, if you look under here, I think we can see, it's a little difficult to get up and down here, but all right, not sure if there'll be enough light here, but no, I guess not. If we had more light, you could see there are bonding strips underneath here. And it happens to be exactly where that line is. So that must be a factory bonding strip. Anyway, sorry there's not enough light. You can barely make out that bonding strip. I think that's what that is. See, there's the thing. Yeah, it's just too dark in here. I'll get a light next time and we'll look at that. All right. Anyway, so now once I do that, I'm going to cut down to there's a binding strip literally around that whole perimeter where I'm going to cut it off. And then this piece right here, if you look inside of here, again, there's not enough light to see. Right. I almost need to crawl inside the car. Let's see if you could find my hand. There's my arm. There we go. All right, if you look, there's an inner panel here and an outer panel. This has got panel bond right there, all along here. I've got to cut out that panel bond and separate those. All right, that's for next time though, but I got at least this part done where I know where I'm going to cut the outside, and then I'll have to cut that panel bond there, and then underneath the car I'll have to cut the panel bond as well. All right, I did also find out that they used metal at these corners to rebuild the corners. It's covered up right now. Again, if I get under here, maybe you can see it because it doesn't require a lot of light. No, really can't. Anyway, if you could see it, you could barely see it. That's the license plate. There we go. See that panel right there? That's white metal. Same thing right here, just inside of here. There's white metal. So what they did is they needed to rebuild those sections because it looks like they cut them out to remove the factory frame. You can see that the aftermarket frame stops way up here. There we go. Yeah, it stops way up there. Whereas the factory frame went all the way to the back to allow you to mount the bumper. So to get the factory frame out, what they did was they slotted this and then pulled the factory frame out. And then they repaired the damage that they did with those patch panels. The reason they use the patch panels is because otherwise they'd be working kind of upside down, laying on their back like I am now, unless they had a lift. And it was much easier to form the metal and then pull the metal off and put fiberglass on the metal once the metal was at the right shape. And then all they had to do was bond those new panels in. So it's kind of cheesy that they didn't pull the metal off or treat the metal with something so it could be pulled off, but it works. It just means there's those two extra pieces of metal that shouldn't actually be there. All right, so that's it for now. Sorry about the camera action. I'm climbing out from under the car. So that's my plan for next time, is to continue on with that. There we go. So go ahead, like, subscribe, hit the alert, hit the thanks if you want to donate. And if you don't like what I'm doing, you don't know jack. Bye.